Maybe because growing up implies in a certain way breaking up with those ideals that we built up when we were kids, this day becomes so difficult. I can see myself in my first day of classes when I entered Newman, in third grade, almost 10 years before, in the red playground, and the national flag being hoisted. I was so innocent that it was inevitable to ask myself, will I ever be like that, when I saw the high school students? I used to see in my brother's photos things such as 3x equal to 15, and I just couldn't figure out mixing numbers and letters. How would I ever understand that? I observed the maps of our country, and it seemed to me such an enormous, unbelievable, and even pure thing that just couldn't fit in my tiny mind. Today, that on our blackboards we can read several theories about human behavior, or absolutely corrupt equations, and that we know our society at least a little bit more, and understand that nothing is as pure as what we used to imagine when we were kids, I asked myself, was that it? I'm here now. I'm on my last day of classes, the day that I used to idealize so much when I was younger. What is going to happen? I am not old enough yet. I am not mature enough. I may understand the Marxist theory, but I don't feel mature. I still want to be with all my friends every day in the same class. I don't want to lose all these things that have been part of my life and that marked it entirely. It's been more than 10 years, and almost all that I have experienced was because of this school. I owe Newman nearly my entire life, but the cycle ends at a certain point, and here we are. It is then when I ask to myself again, are we prepared? Are we prepared to go out to a world that is so much different to this that we know like the palm of our hands? Are we prepared to fight injustice, to resist being stepped on, to face the fact that people will not know us? Are we prepared? Letting myself be carried out by the uncertainty that surrounds me because of the days that will come, my answer would be an absolute no. Because our worst enemy, which is fear, appears to destroy the motion of starting to create our own path, studying what fulfills us as persons, living with more freedom and autonomy, which is in the end the life that we will carry on from now onwards. Fear of failure, of being wrong, of feeling overwhelmed because of all the things that we will have to live and face. Fear of being independent, fear of taking decisions that will imply radical changes in our lives. It is incredible how we often wish to be chained to our school, to every little thing that it gives and gave us. But all those things that Newman gave us are precisely the things that make me say yes, we are prepared to go out to the world when I think about it deeply. Among all those things, the one I would like to mention first is the academic education that the school gave us, which is after all its principal mission. And I would like to show this with an eternal and sincere thank you to all of our teachers and professors. Because probably, there is no profession as noble as teaching. There are several spirits of service as huge as the one of the teacher, who shares all his wisdom so as to teach the others. To all of our professors who tolerated our whims, our faults, our unfair complaints, before thanking you, I want to say I'm sorry. Sorry for not always being capable of seeing the nobility in your profession or valuing everything that you did and do for us. And eternally thank you for inspiring us, for making us grow up and think, for opening yourselves to us and giving us everything you know so that we could learn and understand more. Because a great teacher is the one that knows how to inspire and awake the best of the pupil, and all of you, in different ways, have been able to do so. And for that reason, my sincere gratitude. Newman's academic education also implies all the activities and tools that were given to us. Trips, visits, history, maths and poetry Olympics, literary contests, the artistic education workshops. The school gave us a lot of options that we were able to choose with absolute freedom. Options that have helped a lot in the hard but beautiful process of growing up. And all those things, whose importance maybe couldn't be appreciated enough at the moment, today, at the verge of a new path and a new stage, we can admire how every little thing that Newman gave us made us grow in capacity and integrity. Integrity, because Newman has been able to educate us, caring not only for the academic and logical education. The school taught us that a man is not only mind and body, but mind, body, and soul. A soul that challenges logic and opens our hearts. A sensitive soul that is sympathetic with the neighbor and wants to help him. A soul that respects and tries to be humble. A soul of charity, a Christian soul. Not only through the great retreats we had, in which we shared our fragilities and were listened to by our friends, but also through the message that the school tries to live every day. Knowing that Newman lends a hand to the ones who need it, and having experienced it, has helped us to grow as persons. But for the 80 of us, that is not sufficient. Because out there, rules will be different. We will not handle the codes of the rest of society from the beginning. And probably we will suffer the unknown. We will maybe cry for not finding a comfortable place like this one. We will be sad sometimes for not being with all of our friends, for feeling that life has changed so much in so little time. Because years have gone like the wind, leaving us kind of adrift, not knowing well what to do. And in those moments, all the academy of the world won't be able to save us. Neither would do so the memory of a retreat that we had experienced some time ago. But we know as few people do what it is to suffer. We have cried a lot too, and we have lived inside of our souls the deepest sadness of losing 3 beloved friends. But do you know something? That by its own won't save us neither. There is something more inside us, inside La 09, that Newman taught us that will be our savior. We carry something inside that gives life to the whole world, that makes it spin and carry on against all misery. I dare say that we know as no other class in the history of our school what love is. Because against the uncontrollable pain, we knew how to place before the faith, hope, and love that we feel for each other and that we feel for Bauti, Tete, and Fran. Because we knew how to transform pain in love. Because the hug that we shared right here, that 14th of September, might have been the consummation of sadness, but it also was the strongest sign of love that any of us has ever experienced. And it is that immense love what makes us continue day by day. The same love that makes people around the world stand up despite injustice and misery. And we can experience that love that, as the Gospel says, is God Himself, thanks to Newman. Thanks to the school and all the Newman community that helped us when waking up seemed to have no sense. Finally, I would like to thank all of you boys. Thank you for giving me the best years that I could ever imagine. Thank you for letting me share with all of you the best moments of my life. Thank you for being there when I needed company. Thank you for your lives, after all. I would be no one without all of you. It is then, when again, I ask myself if we are prepared. And let me assure you, with all the joy and certainty of the universe, that we are prepared. That we will always be grateful to the school for these glorious years, and that we will never, ever abandon each other. Because Newman taught us that we are not just persons in a class. We are La 09, and that is something a lot more significant. Thank you very much.